If you're watching this on YouTube and you're watching the screen right now, yes, I'm still Derek Israel. I just um, shaved my beard and I had a haircut, but I'm still Derek Israel. I'm not an alien. I'm the same guy, the same doctor, the same guru. All right. And before we continue moving forward with this podcast of today, let me just tell you one little thing. Because most people, when there is a long podcast like this one that at least is 1 hour, like they only listen 5 minutes and 10 minutes, maybe they get busy or maybe they get bored and they never come back to finish the episode. So if you're gonna do this, as you know you do sometimes, most of the times, you little bastard, let me just tell you, a little bastard, that is a new one. That is a new one for my phrases. Hey, you little bastard. Let me just tell you one thing that I want you to remind you, and I want you to remember. If you are only going to get one idea of this podcast, if you are only going to get one idea, let that idea be this one. Learn how to recreate yourself. Learn how to recreate yourself and do it every time. Uh-oh, I pushed the button before I finish. And do it every time in your life. Now I push the button. And welcome. Okay, I just had the weirdest thing ever. Like I just disappeared from the podcast. I don't know why what happened. I was just about to do the intro and I just disappeared, but I'm here again. So I guess that nothing is lost. And today my day is a little bit crazy. Maybe it's the new look. I don't know. Let's do the intro again, shall we? Welcome to the most transformative podcast in the world. This is the Mastermind Podcast Challenge. Season 2 with your host, the Papacito of Puerto Rico, your doctor, Derek Israel. And this is the episode 570. We are getting closer and closer to the 1 million episode. That is my goal. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, my friend, before we continue with the podcast of today or we really begin, let me tell you, I have a good news. I have a good news that I want to share with you. Officially, I am able to conduct psychotherapy services in Puerto Rico. Finally, after graduating from my doctoral program, I passed the exam on Puerto Rico, and that gave me the opportunity to be able to work with patients on the island. All right. So if you live in Puerto Rico and you always wanted to receive a psychological therapy with your favorite doctor, Derek Israel, this is the moment. I don't know I don't know how quickly I will fully book, how quickly I will fill every space that I have on my agenda with patients and clients. So probably this is gonna be the only time in which I will be having a lot of spaces available because this is the first time. So what I will be doing is that if you go to the link that is in the description, go to the to where it says everything promoted. I will be uploading a link there that is called psychotherapy. You will be filling a form, and I will or someone in my team will be contacting you for further information to make that psychotherapy possible. So hey, let's work together, baby. This is awesome. Finally, after 10 years. I can do a psychotherapy for my own after a long training and after a long journey. This is my moment. I finally am a psychologist, and not only a psychologist, a licensed psychologist that can give psychotherapy legally on Puerto Rico. So I'm very happy about that. And yes, let's do it. So go to the link in the description and let's begin the podcast of today. Ladies and gentlemen, the podcast of today is based on an idea that I learned from one of the most epic books of all time. I always recommend you this book that is called The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And one of those laws of power, it is called Recreate Yourself. Recreate yourself. The art of changing and modifying your own image, your own form, in order to achieve your greatest power in life. If you don't change your own morphology, your own infrastructure, your own spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, sexual, political, business mechanics, you will never achieve different results because you are not changing enough. We need to recreate. This is something that happens natural, but I will suggest to you that you need to be proactive with your recreation. And when I'm speaking about recreation, I'm not speaking about having fun. Although to recreate yourself, sometimes you have fun. But I'm speaking more about recreation in the terms of creating yourself again, recreation. Okay. So, the most important idea behind this is that there's certain moments in your life, there's certain transitions in your life that you need to recreate completely, that you cannot be the same person anymore. And you just know it. Like in your gut, like in your heart, you know that you need to change drastically, violently, boldly. I'm not talking about just a haircut. I'm talking about a change of soul, a modification of spirit, a modification of mind that obviously it can bring a haircut. It can bring that you, I don't know, maybe you do the surgery of the boobies and you put some boobies on, or maybe you put some booty on, or maybe you take out some uh how do you say that, fat of your belly. Maybe you go to surgery, maybe you go to very deep changes, but those changes need to be supported and powered by a change in the configuration of yourself, in the code, in the software. Just imagine a computer. If you really want to change the computer, you need to change the software of the computer, the code. If you just change the body of the computer, the hardware, like the mouse or the keyboard or the monitor or the RAM, or I don't know, I am not an expert, but if you only change kind of a hardware part, you will not have a new computer. You just will have an old computer with a new body, with a more new material mechanism to operate the computer. But the computer itself, it will be the same. Will run the same. Will have the same speed, probably. Maybe if you change the memory, maybe if you change the RAM. But yes, you will have maybe more memory, but it's not the same. It is the same computer. It is the same model inside the computer. So you will not be able to do a quantum jump if you just change hardware. If you want to change, if you want to do a quantum jump, a cosmic jump, you need to change the software. You need to change the code. You need to change the infrastructure of the computer. So those changes that I'm referring, these radical modifications, they come from the inside and they will be externalized in different areas of your life. And I will tell you how to do it and also I will tell you what areas you should be vigilant enough to recreate yourself constantly. But before we go there, let me tell you when you need to recreate. When you need to recreate. So look, you need to recreate when you are living a role in your life or living certain roles, external social roles that are out of line with your essence. This is kind of the first awakening that you will have. Like you are living something that you are really not. And when you have that mismatch between your essence and the roles that you are fulfilling in existence, you will feel so miserable. You will feel that you are not achieving your goals, that you don't have energy to achieve your goals. You will feel that everything is wrong with you. You will feel sick. You will feel depressed. You will feel disintegrous. I like that word because I have a course, I have a program that is called The Way to Your Ultimate Integrity. And I know you can search for that in the link in the description if you want. And I know that when you are living a disintegrous life, you are living a mediocre life, because to be a human being is about integrity. It's about wholeness. It's about being exactly who you are and acting exactly as you are, not acting as people want you to be, or social roles like I am supposed to be a good student. I am supposed to be a good worker. I am supposed to be a good father, a good husband, a good mother, a good friend, a good uh, member of the church. Those are just roles and they are important. But those roles need to be connected with your essence, right? You cannot be faking the roles, and sometimes you do. I done it before. I have done it before. But when I am doing that, I notice, I'm I'm getting out of line with my purpose in life. I'm getting out of line of who I'm really am. That just only means that I need to recreate myself. I need to be reborn. I need to impregnate myself with new life. So, are you currently like this? Are you currently acting roles in your life that you know that you are being fake, that you don't dare to be yourself? If that is the case, well, you only have one choice, my friend. You know it. You need to drastically change. You need to recreate. Another moment in which you need to recreate when you feel that a large cycle in your life is ending, and another is beginning. And I will be doing an episode maybe next month about learning how to identify when a cycle finish or when a cycle ends. That is a new insight that I have developed in the last 3 months, and it's so spiritual. It's an idea that it will revolutionize your soul. So stay tuned for the next month. But before we go there, like, you just need to be mindful that everything in life is a cycle. It has a beginning, it has an end, and they are kind of superficial, right? Because nothing has a beginning and an end. It's not a definitive thing, but it's kind of, you can say, okay, I start here, this cycle, I am ending here. So if you are maybe finishing your student cycle, or maybe you are finishing your marriage cycle, maybe you are getting a divorce, well, your marriage cycle is ending. Or maybe you are finishing your single cycle and you are getting in a relationship, or you are becoming a father first time, or you are becoming a mother first time, or you are maybe entering in a new job, in a new work, first time ever. That is a new cycle. If you are in a potent transition right now in your life, this is the time, baby. This is the time to recreate, to become anew, to become a new form, to act the law of the new. And I have an episode that I think it is in English. I think I don't really know. I don't really remember if it is in English or Spanish, but I think it is in English. You can search on my YouTube or Spotify, The Law of the New. The Law of the New. And that is a very similar idea to this one, but that is more a metaphysical principle that everything is regenerating, everything is transforming and creating itself, including you. So if you connect with that principle, the law of the new, you will be able to recreate yourself, because you will be connecting with that part of existence that is always giving birth to new forms. And you are this new form. So if you know that a cycle is ending and another one is beginning, take this opportunity to become someone that you are not. Someone that is more closer, that is closer to your future ideal, to the vision that you have on your mind. One of the reasons that I decided to get a haircut and to change my image is because I changed my spirit in the last month. Like, I drastically changed. And the image that I was seeing in the mirror, or every time that I'm watching a podcast, I see myself in the camera. It was not the image that I know that I am currently am. So I have to change. You just see the physical aspect of it, but trust me, my spirit, my mind, my emotions, they are changing drastically. I am recreating myself, and I am putting the effort of making this a proactive action. This is not only something that is happening to me, it's happening by me. Your recreation must happen by you, through you, and for you, and also for the world, because you are the universe. So it's not for you as an ego, it's for you as a cosmos. That's why you are recreating. Other times in which you should be recreating is when your external self is not matching with your new ambition. Maybe you have a new ambition in your life. Let me ask you a question. What is your new ambition in life? Do you have a new ambition? Yes or no? I have a Spanish episode. If you understand Spanish, go to my YouTube or Spotify and search for Ambición, Mastermind Podcast Ambición. It's a episode about ambition and the importance of ambition in personal development, because it is important. Yes, detachment is also important, and they seems to be opposites. Like ambition is like to be attached, right? And attachment is like releasing, and that seems to be more spiritual, but both are spiritual. Like you can be ambitious and detached at the same time. That is the ultimate game. That is the ultimate power, because you are driven by desire, but your desire is not fixed on a standard of your ego. Notice, you are driven by desire. And remember, desire is a very potent thing. And if you don't know about desire, you need to watch my entire mini series. It's for free in the Mastermind podcast that is called Think and Grow Rich mini series, based on the book Think and Grow Rich of Napoleon Hill. And in that mini series of 10 episodes, the first episode is desire. So just watch that episode alone if you want. Desire. And desire is the fire of your new creation. You need to decide to recreate. But at the same time, if you are fixed with the results, if you are attached to the results, you will fail at the end, because nothing will satisfy you. Your ego will never say, "Oh my Kachi, I am so satisfied today." No. Your ego will say, "I want more, I want more, I want more, I want more." So be careful with your ambition, but have an ambition and recreate yourself accordingly. What is your new ambition on life? I know that I have new ambitions on my life, new desires, and I am recreating myself accordingly. Sometimes I will wish that I was faster in my recreations. And you may say, "Oh, Derek, but you are very fast. Trust me, like you change a lot. We see you. We you change like a lizard, like a chameleon is how do you say in English? I don't know. The chameleon, maybe. You change like a dragon. You change like a Pokemon. Yes, I know, but I want to change faster, dude. It's the same as reading. You may say, "Oh, Derek, you read very fast." Yes, but I can read faster. And I want to read faster because I know that faster sometimes is better. Sometimes it is not better. To have sex faster, it is not better. But to change faster, for me, that's better. But maybe that is just a bias that I have on my mind. So, hey, take the best, leave the rest. So now let's talk about the dimensions of recreation and that I mean, what areas you can be recreating yourself and how to do it. The first area is the physical, and this is the most obvious. And I already told you, this is secondary. It's very sad with people that go under surgery for reducing their fat. I know that there is a very popular surgery. Let me search how to say it in English. Um, the bariatric surgery. It is called the bariatric surgery. Is basically a surgery to get more skinny, right? To reduce your fat. Like they cut something in your stomach. I am not an expert on this, but they cut a little bit of your stomach. They cut things there, and you suddenly you are without less with less hungry. You are less hungry, and therefore you start losing weight. So with that surgery, the bad thing, and I know a lot of people that do it, and I have close friends that have done it. I have one cousin that did it. He almost died in the surgery. It's not a very easy surgery. It's very dangerous. He had some complications with his bloodstream during the surgery. He spent like a week in the hospital after the surgery. It was a very bad situation for him. And the bad thing is that he's now very skinny. He made it. And another people have made it, but his self-image in his mind, he's still fat. I don't care how he looks in the mirror every day. He see a fat boy still because he changed his physique. He changed his physical appearance, but he didn't change his soul. He didn't change his mind. He didn't change his spirit. And I'm pretty sure, sadly, he will become fat again in the years to come because the body will adjust to the mind. And if in your mind you are still a fat boy, you will become a fat boy again. I don't care how many surgeries do you do. That's very sad. But it's not sad at all. I am not saying that he cannot change. I'm saying that he's focused on the physical aspect instead of be focusing on the mental, spiritual aspect that is driving his obesity. Instead of be focusing on why I'm eating all day, why I am eating this shitty food all day, right? So yeah, physical recreation is good. Don't get me wrong, but only when it's supported by spiritual, mental transformations first. But when you are transformed from the inside, go bold. Go bold. And what I mean by that is that don't be shy on changing drastically your look, your physical appearance. Like that gives you a new momentum. Believe me. I have been changing my appearance in the last year very often. Different hair colors, different looks, different body types. I was building a different body. Now I'm building another body with another exercises. And I know that with every version that I become comes new opportunities. So change your physique and your physics, but only when you change your soul. Another recreation that you can do is the mental recreation, and this is huge. How can you recreate yourself mentally? Well, you need to adopt new thoughts. And how can you adopt new thoughts? Well, you need to be exposed to new experiences. You need to expose yourself. Remember, this is all about being proactive here. You need to be exposing yourself to new experiences. Oh, Derek, what type of experiences? Well, new books, for example. Are you reading new books? Every book that you read brings a new you to light. Like not long ago I started reading Shakespeare for the first time in my life. I didn't read Shakespeare. I don't know. I didn't read it before. And now I'm reading Shakespeare and I am realizing that I'm a new person just by reading a new author, a new book, a new way of interpreting reality. And I am changing my reality while I'm changing my mind because my mind and my reality is the same. Also, exposing yourself to new podcast, to new music that will penetrate your mind. One of the things that I am very invested to in these days is to rediscover myself musically. What I mean by that is I am just searching every day for new music that I have never ever listened before. Music from Asia, music from the 60s, from the 70s, from the 80s, from the 90s, soul music, alternative music, alternative electronic music, in other languages that I don't even understand, classical music that I have never. I just want new sounds. I don't care. I don't care. I just want new sounds on my ear. Why? Because I'm tired. I'm tired to listen. I don't listen too much urban music anymore, like Bad Bunny or those stuff. I am from Puerto Rico, and that is the stuff that people in Puerto Rico listen. I don't listen to that anymore because I'm just tired. It's the same sound, the same shit every fucking day. What the hell, man? I will never be new. I will. And music changed your brain. Music changed your neurons, how they are connected together. So new music, new brain, new life. Same music, same brain. Same brain, same life. Easy. And so I just want new sounds, man, and I'm doing that every day, and I am I'm finding like the greatest songs ever that I am like, how the hell I didn't know about this song? How the hell I didn't listen to Elvis Presley before? How the hell I didn't listen to Sinatra before? How, that is the discovery that I am realizing right now. And what I am realizing is that my mind is changing while I'm listening to new languages, new music, new books, new thoughts are arising, new ideas are arising. I'm recreating my mind. It is not the same mind that was exposed to the same stuff. I am exposing myself to new stuff, new art, new mind, new habits. By learning martial arts, that is something that I'm very invested to right now also. I am changing my brain. I am teaching my brain how to operate with my body in a whole different way, right? With martial arts, because it's a different operation than going to the gym, than playing basketball, than doing yoga. Those are very good things, and I do them every day as well. But martial arts, that is a new level. What that thing do to your mind? Oh my gosh, you should try it, man. You should try it. You should learn martial arts. Anyways, I will be talking more about that in the future. I'm still in the newbie mode. So maybe in 1-2 years, I will be pretty solid on the subject, and I will be implementing and incorporating martial arts. It's not like Derek Israel now is a martial arts ninja. What? In his podcast, but I'm just gonna incorporate that as I incorporated yoga, as I incorporated meditation, as I incorporated psychology, business, marketing paradigms and ideas that I share with you naturally. I will be incorporating also martial arts in the future. So stay tuned. Another realm of drastical change and recreation is emotional. The emotional realm. How do you do it? Well, it's one of the most difficult, but basically what you need to do is to open yourself to receive new emotions and new combinations of emotions and make that your new default. You need to understand you have a default emotional reaction. You have a default standard emotional being that you are feeling every day. And those emotions are addictions. You are addicted to your emotion. Even when you feel sad, you are addicted to sadness because your central nervous system is already waiting for you to experience the same emotion and again and again and again and again, because that gives you a solid identity. And I talk a lot about that in my episode that is called Living from the Future. If you want more information, living from the future. So your genes and your body is addicted to your emotions. But those emotions are giving you the same identity, the same behaviors, the same motivations that you already have. So you will stay in the same level that you are right now if you stay with your same emotions. Easy, not sophisticated stuff. But how then you develop better emotions or better configurations of emotions? Well, the same with the mind, the same with the mental aspect. You need to expose yourself to new things that give you new emotions. And then you need to leave those activities that you know that are bringing bad emotions up, leave them one by one. Maybe you know that drinking is giving you a lot of bad emotions. You feel bad after that. You feel bad after you drank a couple of beers. Well, leave alcohol completely. That is the new consciousness. That is the new. I'm pretty convinced, and I'm about to go all in this idea about sobriety on alcohol, because I have been sober on alcohol like 4 years now. And man, this is the new consciousness. I cannot see myself drinking ever again. That is so stupid. From a spiritual perspective, if I will consider alcohol from a social perspective, I will say, oh, okay, it has sense, right? Because you can get more, you can flow better with people a little bit, right? If you are not drunk, if you are just like sipping some beers, but to drink overall, that is just a spiritual defect. It is a spiritual defect. You cannot meditate completely if you are drunk. You cannot connect with God completely if you are drunk. You are in a low vibration when you are drunk. You are not integrous when you are drunk. You are needing a substance for you to have a nice time. You are needing something external for you to feel. I don't know how you feel, to feel great, to feel awesome, to feel pretty. But notice the alcohol is becoming your emotion, and the alcohol is not the problem. The problem is whatever activity you do that brings you the same emotions. Drop them. Sometimes to change your emotions, you need to leave your partner. Yes. I remember when I was in a toxic relationship, I was hating my life. And I didn't know how to leave that relationship because I was addicted to the toxicity of the relationship. But at the same time, while I was staying in that relationship, I was aware I am not changing at all. I am living the same day every day. Different circumstances, different problems, but the same emotions. I feel the same. And I knew that I have to do one drastic thing, and I disappeared from that relationship. Never again I went back. And then I felt differently. And then I became Derek Israel, the one that you know in the social media. It was after I quit that relationship. I started meditating, I started reading, I started hanging out with different people, with different women that were not so toxic, that were, healthier a little bit. They were crazy as well, but everyone is crazy in a way. But they were not that crazy, and I could become who I am today. So that's pretty cool. You need to do drastic decisions to have new emotions. Also, in your sexual area, you need to recreate yourself sexually, adopting new sexual habits, adopting new sexual philosophies. If you are only thinking that sexuality is just bodies fighting in bed for orgasms, you will never recreate yourself sexually. But what if you adopt the thought that you are a god and that your woman or your man is another god or goddess and you are recreating the cosmos while you are having sex? Just notice that is a philosophy, and that is from the Tantra philosophy. I teach a lot of that in my course, Sexual Mastery. If you want to learn more about becoming a sexual master, go to the link in the description and go to my course. But that is a philosophy of the Tantra tradition, to perceive yourself as a god while you are having sex and you are creating the universe. how you will operate your sexual act if you are thinking that way. You're not going to be the same. How you will operate your sexual act if you decide to become vulnerable and to practice intimacy with your partner. Not just sex, not just penetration, intimacy. Intimacy. The act of connecting truly, the act of making your sentiments and your feelings naked to the world for that person to receive and to adore and to love. That is intimacy. I have an episode on that on Spanish that is called Cómo intimar con el universo, por si desean más información. So, open yourself to new dimensions in your sexual life. Practice new things. Practice Kama Sutra. Buy a book about Kama Sutra. Recreate yourself. Like every time that I go to bed with my wife, I know that I'm a different man. I'm a different sexual entity. And I strive for that. I am thinking every time in my life, I'm thinking that every day. The next time that I do love to my woman, what I will do different? What new technique can I implement? What new sound? What new movement? What new massage? What new music can I put? What new environmental engineering? How can I engineer the environment to awake a new sexual fantasy? I am always thinking about reinvention in the sexual dimension, and I am implementing that systematically. And that is what maintains the spark. So recreate yourself sexually. Don't be afraid of trying new things in the bed. You will know yourself better in the bed. You will recreate a new form in the bed if you dare. Also, in the social dimension, you can recreate yourself. This is a huge one. You know, I went from being just a normal dude to being Derek Israel, the famous psychologist on social media. That is a social change. I was a normal dude, like you. But then one day I just have a spiritual realization that this is my path, that this is my job, that I was about to do this all, you know, all in, all in. And I just went all in and I did it. And I started recording videos. And 6 years later, here I am. I have private clients. I have transformed millions of lives. Some of my videos have reached millions of people. My most viewed video so far has 1.5 million views on Facebook. It's a reel about a sexual idea. Right? But yeah, and that is just one video. I have like, I don't know, maybe 3,000 videos or more. I don't know. But that was a social change. That was a social recreation. How can you do it? How can you recreate your social media? How can you recreate your image in social media? How you are portraying yourself? How are you showing yourself to the world? Maybe you need to recreate yourself in an organization. That is a social change. Like, I went from being just a normal dude in my fraternity to be the president of my chapter in the fraternity. That is a social change. I decided to change my role, my social role drastically, and I went all in. Maybe you are just a quiet young man or young woman in your family. How can you recreate yourself to lead your family? That is what is your role. Like people, man, I don't know why people don't understand this, but your role is to lead your family, not only to lead your created family. Your created family is the family that you create with a wife or a husband and your own child. Maybe you don't have that yet, right? Maybe you are not married and you don't have that. Maybe you are living with your parents. That is your nuclear family. It's not your created one. It's your nuclear because you came from that one. That is the nucleus of your family. But that family is also for you to lead. And a lot of people think that the one that should lead is the father or the mother, or maybe the most how do you say this, the not the younger brother, or the older brother or the older sister. No, I don't care who you are, if you are older or younger, if you are man, woman, intersex, I don't care. It's your duty, it's your responsibility to lead your family every day. Your created one and your nuclear one, you are the leader. That is a social recreation. Do you dare to do that? Do you dare to start making decisions for your family and assuming the responsibility, bearing the weight in your shoulders? Maybe you don't dare. Maybe it's that you, maybe it's not that you don't, maybe it's not that you can't, maybe it's that you don't dare. Because it's not easy, but it's a social recreation. Recreate yourself socially in relation to other human beings. Recreate your social roles. Adopt new and better roles that are integrous with your essence, that are whole with your life purpose. Another dimension that you can change and need to change and recreate yourself is the artistic dimension. And for me, this is the most fascinating one. Well, maybe, yeah. Yeah, this and the spiritual. But the artistic is so beautiful, man, because you are art. I am currently working with my new course that is called Unblocking Your Infinite Creativity. I will be launching this, I think, tomorrow or today, maybe tomorrow, probably tomorrow. And and I'm very connected right now with the creativity of the universe and the creativity that we all have. And it's so, so, so amazing just to be able to recreate my creativity. If you watch the first Mastermind Podcast Challenge, season 1, you will say and you will think, and obviously if you are going to do that, you need to understand Spanish. It's on Spanish entirely. But you will kind of see, if you understand Spanish, that it's a very different art form than this one, the season 2. And it's not only the length, because those episodes in the season 1 is like maybe 20 minutes per episode, maybe half an hour, so they are shorter. But it's not about the length. It's about the vibe. It's about the branding. It's about the art. It's about the performance. It's about the sophistication of the ideas. It's about the language. It's about the creativity, the artistic element that I bring to this podcast, because this podcast is not just a podcast. This podcast is art in form of podcast. I recreated my creativity. I recreated my artistic pursuits. And for doing this, you need to dare to create like crazy. You need to dare, you need to be brave enough to create a masterpiece. If you are holding yourself back, you will never recreate your artistic capacity. You need to get out of your own way. Your ego must die to your new form. Let your ego out of the way, and your creativity will transform. Your ego is the only one that is attached to your current creativity. Your spirit knows that your current creativity is trash. It's trash. This right now is trash in comparison to what will be in 10 years from now, 20 years from now. This is trash. This is the current recreation that has become obsolete because every recreation is instantly obsolete. You need to recreate again and again and again and again and again and again and again forever. That is the law of the new. And that brings us to the, my favorite one, actually, the spiritual dimension. Recreate yourself spiritually. How you do it? Well, study different religions, study different techniques. Dare to study martial arts and to practice martial arts. Do Kundalini yoga, do Hatha yoga, do meditation, do mantras, do mudras. Do you do that? Or do you just pray? Hey, to pray is to recreate yourself. When you're praying, you're recreating. If you want more information, just watch my episode called Prayer Action Spectrum. The Prayer Action Spectrum. Yes, you are recreating, but just to pray is not enough, dude. You need to read, you need to design a spiritual retreat. You need to go into altered state of consciousness. You need to work with a guru for some time and then destroy your guru and become your own guru. Right? Recreate yourself spiritually. For me, my favorite technique to recreate myself spiritually is Kundalini yoga. If you just go to YouTube and you search Kundalini yoga, you will be able to find a lot of practices, but you will not do it. You will just hear the recommendation, think about it, and then you will keep your life the same. And that's why you are not recreating yourself enough. Sadly, just do it today and then do it every day. 10 minutes of Kundalini yoga. Dude, that will change your spirit like hell. Because what you're doing in Kundalini yoga is you're sophisticating your sexual energy, that by definition is the substance of change and reproduction and generativity. So go and do Kundalini. And the final and last recreation dimension that I want to mention today is business and political. I just put it in one dimension, although they are different. But yeah, I will not expand too much on this. But business is business. You know that you need to recreate your business. And sometimes, let's say that you are an employee and you don't have your own business. Also, you need to recreate your labor capacity every time. What I mean by labor capacity, your capacity to do certain things in your work. Like you need to become indispensable for your work. You need to be so good that your job cannot function without you. That's how you become a good employee. And notice, I am not telling you you have your own business, blah, 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 because I know that most people, they don't have their own business, and that's okay. Maybe you don't have your own. Maybe you don't want your own business, but then recreate yourself in your employee status and do, be the best employee that you can be. If you are going to be a plumber, be the best plumber that you can be. If you're going to be, if you, I don't know, if you're gonna be brushing cat's hair, brush the cat's hair the best that you can be. Be the best cat brusher ever. I don't know if that makes any sense. But if you are going to attract, if you're going to recollect and conquer dragons, be the best recollector and conqueror of dragons. Be the best that you are. Recreate to meet new demands, new problems that your boss even don't know that they exist. You know how you can become lethal in your work, if you can solve problems then even your boss do not know they have. You are so ahead in your vision that you can solve problems that are not really problems yet in their conscious mind. That's huge. That's becoming a pro on recreation. In your political aspect, hey, and I will not touch entrepreneurship because, hey, if you're not changing as an entrepreneur, what the hell are you doing? You are not an entrepreneur. By definition, an entrepreneur is someone that is taking a risk without knowing if it will be worth it and if will work or not. Therefore, every entrepreneurship is a recreation. You are creating something new. You are recreating something on assistance with hopes of having a commercial enterprise going on, and you don't know if it will work or not, right? So every entrepreneurship is a recreation. I don't think that it must go there. And if you're an entrepreneur, I think that you already know that this is mandatory to recreate your business aspect every time, how you sell, how you market, how you treat your clients, how you develop long-term relationships with your clients, your brand, your logo, the business communication. I mean, it's endless, and you know that. But also your political perspective must recreate. Like you need to meditate on political issues. That is something that doesn't come natural to me. I have been hacking myself for the last 3 years in order to develop a political mind. Because I know that it's my responsibility with the whole multiverse to have a political role, even when that role is just only speaking about politics in the podcast. But that is a role. Maybe this is my role for now. Maybe when the day of the election comes, my role is to vote. You know, maybe one day I have a new idea and my role is to write a letter to the president and see if he can read it. You will have different political roles in your life. Recreate those. Maybe you need to recreate yourself to become a senator, a governor. Maybe you need to recreate yourself to become the president and to help people, help the world. Recreate yourself politically. It's part also of your process. How you do it? You meditate a lot about political issues. You get rid of fanatism. You get rid of dogma. Very important. If you're dogmatic, if you're a fanatic of certain um, political parties or philosophies, you will not be objective enough to recreate yourself enough. And if you want more information about that, I have a whole episode about it. For me, in my perspective, I don't know what people think, but from my perspective, that is one of the most important episodes of the whole podcast. Not only the challenge season 2, the whole podcast. It is called Raising Your Political Consciousness. Raising Your Political Consciousness, Derek Israel Mastermind Podcast 2. So this is it, my friend. Recreate yourself. This is your duty and your new responsibility. Remember, leave a comment below how you will recreate yourself. I want to read you. I want to know you. If you make it this far, comment and I will comment you back. Also, share this with your friends in your social media. That helps a lot. Remember that we are on Patreon and you can donate only $5 per month. And by doing that, you help us to transform thousands of lives around the world with this free podcast. So, hey, donate please on Patreon. The link is in the description. And also remember that we have the Telegram group is all free. The link is in the description if you want to join a group of people like you that are growing together, doing using this podcast as a tool. Join us. And also remember that you can go to the link in the description and apply if you live in Puerto Rico to my psychotherapy service that will be releasing in a couple of weeks. I am just making the final details to start the service, but I am already legal to do it. So let's go, baby. Apply if you want to be considered as to be my patient in my psychological service. And obviously, you need to live on Puerto Rico to do this. And and it will be for me a pleasure and an honor to have you as my client. My first, maybe, private client ever. Oh my gosh, after 10 years. Oh my God, that feels sweet. Hey, you can conquer your dreams. If I did it, you can do it as well. Recreate yourself.